Welcome to Dan Perkins' podcast called What's on My Mind. Dan is a national syndicated radio and TV talk show host, a current events commentator who writes for 20 news blogs. So let's look into Dan's mind and see what he's thinking about today. Here's Dan Perkins.
President Biden, what about my $50,000? This is Dan Perkins, and that $50,000 is on my mind. President Biden has suggested that he now is considering the forgiveness of $50,000 per student in student loan debt. As a parent who sent 4 children to college, each took out student loans, and my wife and I paid the rest like many other families in this country did for their children. As I thought about this proposal, I wondered who would qualify for the up to $50,000 forgiveness. The challenge is figuring out how to do it without alienating millions of American parents and students. There may be as many as 60 million students holding college debt who might be in line for the loan forgiveness program. In the United States, we have 40.3 million people who have completed college carrying $1.5 trillion in debt. There are approximately 21 million students in college today, and the amount of money in outstanding student loan debt is second only to residential mortgages. Student loan debt also exceeds all credit card debt in the country. You could ask, how did we get into this problem and have so much debt to answer for? The question is, the government encouraged lenders to lower the standards for getting loans, basically encouraging everyone to go to college. Regardless of their ability to succeed in college and to pay back the loan didn't matter. According to the Washington Post, of 100 students they tracked starting college, 21 never graduated. That's 21%. 1/3 of those who dropped out are from low-income families. For a long period of time, private banks loaned the money to pay for colleges. They took the investment risk of defaults. But under the Obama-Biden administration, that all changed when the U.S. government became the lender of record. So all the outstanding student loan debt are obligations of the United States government. In other words, you. Student loans make up more than $1.5 trillion in outstanding debt in the United States from more than 44 million borrowers. Student loans are being securitized as student loan asset-backed securities, or commonly known as SLABs. SLABs have been enticing to investors due to some structural guarantees by the government. But as student debt has increased, they may become riskier than initially thought. Here is the critical question. What happens under Biden's proposed program to the investors who own SLABs? If the government guarantees the obligation and the loan is canceled, will the investor get all their money returned? Or what about the parents who took out home equity loans to pay for their children's college education? Should some of the $50,000 in grants go to parents of students? What about people who took money out of their savings to pay for the cost of college? The issue is very complicated. The young people want to get rid of some of their debt, and I understand why. A student loan payment could be as large as a house payment upon graduation. Why has the student loan debt increased so much in a short time? U.S. News and World Reports did an analysis of the ranked national universities, and it shows that in the past 20 years, average tuition at private colleges rose by 144%. At public universities of out-of-state students by 165%, and at public universities for in-state students by 212%. I would like you to think about those numbers and ask yourself if your income went up as high as these percentages over the same time. Well, according to Social Security, the average income in 2001 was $31,581, while in 2019 it had grown to $51,916. This is a 64% increase in income over the time frame. You can see that the cost of college more than consumed the rise in income. So it should be clear that students had to borrow more money and more money as the cost of college outstripped their family's ability to pay the expenses. I think this idea is very divisive because those Americans who spent their money to pay for their children's college education, who get left out of any forgiveness, the program will be furious. Families will become more divided, and voters on both sides will also become angry. We will see examples of cross-generational conflict. So there are two things, simple ways to prevent the escalation of college costs beyond reason. First, put a cap on their increases on the cost of college. And second, remind the students of their financial obligations if they choose to go to college. If the parents made a financial commitment so children can go to college, then the financial obligations are the parents. I say no to forgiving college loans debt. That's what's on my mind. I'm Dan Perkins, and thanks for listening.